Chainsaw does not let up. Holy crap, episode 9 was crazy too. And all my theories around Makima have pretty much been expanded at this point. I don't really know what Makima is anymore. Though, we'll say, I think it was Tendo or Kurase at some point mentioned that there's a possibility that Makima is contracted to multiple devils. It's not just specifically what my theory was, some sort of controlling ability. I mean, my guess is, based on what happened in the train, it could still be some sort of controlling mechanism that is allowing her to make people believe that they took her out. But it could also be that she just can't die. So the first contract, at least, has got to be something having to do with control or unable to die. Then the second one would be something that was able to create gigantic craters in people's chests. So she obviously has some ability to shoot these big old holes in people. And then when it came to the situation with her taking out all these, I don't know why she only took out the henchmen, the randos. The randos are the only ones she took out. She has an ability to control birds because it seems like the birds were flying ahead and that gave her the ability to see them. Then she's going to have some ability to see people's names. So she's got some Death Note thing going on. And then on top of that, yes, able to crush people. Like, she's able to put them figuratively in her hands and crush them. So it's all over the place what she's able to do. Like, she's got a whole bunch of stuff. But like I said, Kendo or Kurase said that because of their position, random subordinates aren't able to see what Makima has been contracted to. Like, only the higher ups know what Makima is contracted to, which is, again, absolutely insane. Additionally, this is kind of our first sign of somebody that's contracted to be able to do things, but it didn't look as if Makima herself was sacrificing anything. She was sacrificing these random death sentence, life sentence people to be able to take out people. So she was using others as a sacrifice, whereas everything we've seen so far, somebody has to sacrifice something of their self. Whether it's Aki having to sacrifice some of his skin in order to use the Fox Devil. Even the Sawatari girl, she was sacrificing her fingernails. Now, the interesting thing around Makima in this whole segment is she squished like 2 people before it showed her go to each one of these people, give a name, and then she was able to crush them. But when it cut to her, everybody was still alive. So I don't know if she's able to sacrifice a little bit before she has to start going to all these people. Maybe she's given a couple freebies or something like that. But it would seem a little weird that, again, she calls for 30 people to be brought there. They got 10, and then she crushed 2 people, and then she started having to have them say them in order to crush them. I don't know if that's just like an oops, like they oops there, or again, if she's able to do it to a certain extent before she has to start having sacrifices. That was another kind of weird thing, is in the anime adaptation, when Sawatari used her snake, she had to give up one of her fingernails. But in the manga, it showed that she had like used 4 of her fingernails already at that point. Whereas in the anime, for some reason, it only showed one of her fingernails used. So I don't know if that's significant. It kind of implies that she's had to use it a couple times before she even got there. But other than that, it was pretty spot on to the manga. Additionally, I think there is an element that technically the whole thing about crushing people could be partly to do with the whole control thing. That could just be a concept of controlling somebody, because she's technically able to almost put their physical nature within her hands and she's able to crush them, whereas I could think that she would possibly be able to control them genuinely, like physically able to hold them or push them around. So that could play into the whole element of control. But again, after what we've seen in this episode, I have no doubts why Power is afraid of her. Whether it be just mental control with some sort of control devil, or just the fact that she understands that, 1, Makima possibly can't die, and 2, she's able to just crush people at a whim. So yeah, it kind of goes in that whole element of how many contracts does she have out, or do all of them sort of fall within the same category? Is it unlike the later part where she's just merely crushing them? Is she, within the case of the train, is she just kind of going like this and then a hole appears in their chest? There's a lot of possibilities here, but they've easily established that Makima is insane. Because again, not only is an aspect that she's extremely powerful, whatever contracts she has are extremely powerful, but additionally, it doesn't seem as if she herself is sacrificing anything. She technically could be sacrificing something and it's just her own body, because if she can't die, can she crush somebody? She dies, but then she gets back up. That could be why she took out 2 people before she even started going down the line and telling them to say their names. But again, I'm really kind of frustrated by the fact that despite the fact that she was sending this bird out, it was, getting the names of all these people, and she was taking them all out, why would she not have taken out this Katana Devil guy and Sawatari? Like, legit, Sawatari said her name. So why is she not... Like, why are those two people like, oh, I don't want to crush them. Let's just take out these random guys that are all they're doing is lifting a body into the van. Like, they're not the threat. The threat is these two other people. Like, Sawatari and this Katana guy, those are the threats. Those are the guys that are taking everybody out, not the randos. Why them? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out later on that Makima is letting them live because some specific reason. Like, she needs to use them, or she wanted to follow them, or something. Makima is not dumb. Hopefully. But no, I did get a little bit of a kick out of the fight between Denji and this Katana, whatever, blade man guy thing, Majiggy. Because it was literally like realization for Denji that he can't act like an idiot. Like, they call for backup, these guys come up and Denji grabs one of them and is like, oh, you don't want your blade to get hurt, do you? And he's like, really, Denji? Was anybody shocked by the fact this guy just straight cut him in half? Like, I don't care. Like, what? Bad guys typically don't care about their henchmen, dude. If you are a threat, you are an extreme threat. Even if they cared for their henchmen, they'd probably still cut through you as a self-sacrifice. But yeah, that didn't last long, which is a good thing because the whole CGI Denji versus Katana Man CGI is the weakest part of the series. To be perfectly honest, this fight between Denji and the Katana guy was easily their weakest battle segment they've had in this series so far, which is technically saying a lot to the other fights. The other fights are really incredible. But no, he cuts him in half, they drag him down there, and yes, that's when everybody starts splattering. Makima sets up her plan to get a bunch of prisoners and start one by one going through each one of them. Again, it seemed as if they had to say the name of the person that she wanted to control before she could control them. And then she, again, splatters everybody that's not a named character because, again, that would be too easy if she just took out the Katana Man. It kind of reminded me of The Boys, or those that Junji Ito comic where like suddenly just people just splatter. Like, it's just that element of not knowing where it's coming from. Now, granted, Sawatari knew immediately. Check on Makima. She must be here. Only Makima would have some ridiculous ability or contract like this. It's got to be Makima. She knew immediately. Again, kind of playing into the idea that these people know who Makima is. She's an extreme threat. And she seems to have contracts with devils that are insanely powerful. But again, Makima takes out all the henchmen, and then she's like, that's enough. That's all we need to do for now. Let's head back. And just before they're about to drag Denji away, yes, Kobeni shows up. And here we finally have our moment of Kobeni doing something besides being annoying. But there's a lot of really interesting elements behind Kobeni. What I'm already kind of establishing here is that Kobeni has some sort of contract that allows her to be possessed. Because it really did feel like whenever Kobeni did something really crazy, it wasn't her doing it. It was almost as if she was allowing something to go inside of her and control her. Evident by the idea that when Arai was taken out, he tried to go protect Kobeni, took a bullet for her, and then it seemed as if she was taken control of, and she ran over there and took out the granny. And this seemed to be the same thing that happened when she first confronted Sawatari and this Blade Devil. It was like she just became somebody else and started running across the snake and just taking out the Katana Man. He did say something effective, what are you, some sort of monkey? Which, yes, technically it could go into the whole idea of the monkey's paw. I mean, I'm thinking of like Monogatari, where it's like extremely powerful, extremely physical. But I don't know, it could be that. Though I don't know how powerful a monkey devil would be. I don't know if there's too many people that are afraid of monkeys. But it was funny because at some point this chick, at some point Kobeni just picks up Denji and uses him as a shield. And again, I don't know that's technically her controlling it. So if it was somebody else, because she sort of seemed a little bit apologetic about what she did to Denji. So I don't know that she would, if she was apologetic to what she did to Denji, I don't know that she would be willing to pick up his corpse and use it as a shield. But yeah, they flee, and again, Kobeni just starts freaking out. Like she just goes nuts. She's like, all this crap that's happening, again, just seeing Arai get killed, all this crap, blood's everywhere. She's basically using Denji's half body as a shield. She's going nuts. She's like, I gotta tell Makima I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. She's losing it. And I think they pulled that off really well. Her like laugh that she had was really well done. Like, all credit to the seiyus that she pulled off this character so well. Now, granted, I didn't like her screaming endlessly at the hotel, but here, even then she technically pulled it off. But she just pulled off that kind of descent into madness that she was having. But yeah, that kind of cuts to the final scene where Madoka comes to Makima and gives her the lowdown. Got all the information from the higher-ups. They said that basically, besides the half-demons or the fiends and whatnot, all the regular humans, like most all of them, have been taken out between Divisions 1 and 4. And their orders to her is that she's going to now head Division 4, and everybody that's remaining is going to be consumed into 4. And additionally, he quits. He's like, I'm done. He's like covered in blood. He's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Peace out. Which really does suck, because it is going to the element of, this is what they do. They've already established this is a very tough life. This is a very dangerous job. But it just shows that element of the moment that a group comes in and targets them directly, it's like they break. They give in. That fear, that terrorism that caused that is directly towards them. It's no longer, we went to hunt a devil and the devil took out a couple of our people. It's somebody's coming after us. Like, just walking down the street is a danger. It's no longer we have to go to the threat and thus it is dangerous. It is now the threat is coming to us and we no longer have a point in which we can be safe. And that's what I think they're kind of going with Madoka here. And technically, Kobeni and everybody else, is this idea that we're no longer safe, that we're not saving humanity. We're trying to stop a threat, but at the same time, a threat is coming directly to us. People are coming directly to us. But he did drop one more interesting line, which was, Makima, before you go, how much of this did you know was going to happen? Like, how much did you foresee of this? She's like, I'm sorry. The public safety cannot share information to the private citizens. So it's like, yeah, you should have probably asked that before you left. But at the same time, I don't think she would have told him. In the end, I don't think she would have told him. And yeah, that kind of concludes with Kurose and Tendo following Makima and saying, hey, just so you know, we're not going to join your group. We're just coming here to train. They don't want to be a part of it either. It is really crazy because is that an element of, it's feeding into what Himeno said originally, this idea that this is an extremely dangerous job. And yes, technically in reference to the devils, only the crazy ones can last because the devils don't know what to do with them and they don't fear the devils because they've got a couple screws loose. But it sort of also plays here. Who's the ones left standing? Who's the ones that's going to remain in this group? It's going to be the crazy ones. The people that aren't terrified about what just happened. Because, again, a lot of really terrible stuff just happened. Again, it's going beyond going after a threat like a devil, and it's now people and devils coming after them. So yes, despite my theories, yes, Arai's done, gone, Himeno's done, rip. And it seems like most all of 1 through 4's divisions is gone. But Makima lived. Obviously, Denji's gonna live. He's the main character. Power, we don't know where the hell she went. Power just gone. Power just dipped. We don't know where she is. Even to the very end, we don't know where the hell she went. And technically, Kobeni lived, so. Main cast, all we lost was Arai and Himeno, which, unfortunate. But no, I kind of glossed over it, but I got a kick out of the fact that Kobeni was apologizing to Denji for trying to kill him. She's like, why am I apologizing for attempted murder? Like, again, it plays in that fact that she was just losing it. Like, she's holding on to him and just suddenly starts apologizing to him. And she's like, why am I apologizing? I'm losing it. It just, again, they pulled that off so well. Finally, I do want to kind of get into my theories around Madoka's statement to Makima and this idea that, did you know this was going to happen? Did you foresee this? I don't necessarily think that she would have known, like, the exact time. But I do believe that she knows that people are after Denji. I think they all know at this point. I mean, even Himeno and Aki were talking about it at some point. They knew that people were targeting Denji. So yes, I guess to Madoka's credit, she did know. She did know that people were after Denji. Now, yes, technically, as to if she would have known that they were targeting all of the divisions, that's a question mark. But yes, technically to get after Denji, they would have to get rid of all possible backup to Denji, and that would be why they would want to take out all those divisions. But yeah, bold move by the Gun Devil. Again, it seems as if these people are working for the Gun Devil, targeting Denji. Having some big, huge planned attack like this is obviously going to probably spark up a lot of fears around guns again, which is going to fill into the devil as well. But we'll see where it goes from here. Easily, again, another fantastic episode of this series. Looking forward to more. Hopefully it keeps up this pacing. It seems like everybody's like, yeah, last episode 8, was the point which things just start taking off and it doesn't let go. I'm all for it. So we'll see where it goes from here. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed my impressions on episode 9 of Chainsaw Man. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below, comment, let me know what's thought of this episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, a tips link, and a super thanks button down below. I greatly appreciate everybody that supports the channel, and y'all take care.